Hey, what is going on, guys? Donovan here, and today's video is actually a highly requested one, and I'm not really sure why it took me so long to make, but as you see, we got the RT behind me with the drag radial still mounted. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss how much it actually cost me to cam this car, tuning parts, if you opt to install it yourself, how much you should expect to pay for that, etc. I wrote everything down on a notepad here so I don't forget anything, hopefully, fingers crossed. I have a bunch of friends who are currently trading in their RTs for 392s. And in an effort to justify my purchases to myself, I went ahead and added everything up, and this will be part of a series of videos where I'm like, hey, is it worth it to do this versus buying a scat pack, whatever. Because as you guys know, this puts down slightly more power than like a bolt-on scat pack, but that really doesn't matter. You can make the decision for yourself whether it's worth it, but I will make a video in the future. Since I doubt you guys want to just see my face this whole time, I'm gonna go ahead and mount my GoPro to my head, and I'm actually taking off the drag radials today and putting my street tires back on. As you see, the weather's kind of weird and it's been getting kind of drizzly lately, so I don't want to get caught in the rain with drag radials, so we'll go from there. So you guys are actually mounted to my chest right now because I couldn't find my head mount, so hopefully this angle's okay. I'm getting the jack now to lift the car up. Now for like the loudest thing on earth is pulling a jack on concrete. This is awful. So actually, before we get started, please remember to leave a like on the video. YouTube apparently really likes videos that get lots of likes, so it boosts it up in the algorithm a lot, and it kind of helps both the viewer and myself to kind of get the video out there more. It helps me make content a little more frequently and supports the channel, so drop a like on the video if you haven't already. So if you guys are unfamiliar with which cam I went with the HRT Stage 2 from Comp Cams. One of the big reasons I went with that cam is not only the performance that they advertise, the performance gains, and the fact that it's like one of their newest cams for the Hemi. It was also because it came in the form of a kit. Now, I was originally kind of turned off by the idea of camming my car because there were a lot of parts to it, and I was at the time very much a newbie. I didn't know like what I needed. The beautiful thing of the kit is it comes with everything you need. It comes with push rods, it comes with springs, it comes with your retainers, your shims, all that stuff that you need. Now they offer a kit that has lifters and a kit that doesn't have lifters. I opted for the kit that didn't have the Comp Cams brand lifters, and I instead went with non-MDS Hellcat lifters instead. The kit I specifically purchased ran me about $1,300. Okay, so actually guys, as of recording this video, I just learned that the kit I purchased is just shy of $1,000 now, and the kit that includes lifters is also at like a $300 discount. So the kit I bought now is about $1,000, which saves you $300 from the price I mentioned in this video. Now with that being said, us auto guys, we have to delete the NDS system when we cam our cars. So we have to buy at least 8 lifters to replace the MDS lifter. Manual guys don't have to do this. However, my personal recommendation, even though my car only had 20,000 miles, is to just replace all the lifters, no matter whether or not you have an auto or manual. These cars are known for having kind of bad lifters. You might as well replace them while you're in there. It's cheap insurance and it costs about $400. So right now, just for the main parts for the camshaft, you're looking at least $1,700. One thing people forget a lot is the gaskets and fluids. You need head gaskets, you need timing cover gasket, you need head bolts. There's like 10 or I can't remember exactly how many head bolts there are. You can't reuse your stock ones because they're torqued to yield, and then when the car goes through like a heat cycle, the bolts actually expand and they never return to their like original shape, and they're just not safe to use more than once. All new head bolts, new gaskets, new fluids, because you're gonna need all new oil and you need all new coolant. When you pull the heads off, things are gonna get mixed up, nasty, and blah, blah, blah. So you just wanna drain all of those things. All that stuff's gonna cost around at least $350. So now before you even get to the tuning or install, you're already looking at least like $2,000 to $2,100. So next is the install. I've noticed that both myself and other people tend to underestimate how much an install costs for a cam. It's a lot of work. So yeah, like I know I myself kind of underestimated how much they would cost, and that was one of the reasons why like my dad and grandpa and I decided to do it ourselves. However, all of us are like mechanically inclined, so a lot of shops were actually quoting between $1,500 and $2,000 to install the cam, and that's not even including tuning. That's just for the install. So this is where it starts to get kind of steep. So let's just assume that it's like the middle price, $1,750. So now you're already at just shy of $4,000. Yeah, you're at $3,800. That's assuming no tax and that there's not like some hidden miscellaneous fees, because let's face it, there always are. So tuning's actually a tricky topic, because some people say they have a local dyno tuner that'll do it for like $400 to $600. I know the big shops out here are like Fullblown and Yellow Jacket. I was quoted between $1,000 and $1,500 between multiple like well-known Mopar shops to tune for this. And that includes like unlocking fees and tuning and dyno time, which ultimately you do have to pay. So now you're already looking at a bit over $5,000 for parts, install, and tune, assuming you're not comfortable doing it yourself. And the reason that I make this video is, one, to give the numbers, and two is really, a lot of people underestimate how much it costs to do the cam. And some people say, oh, well, you could have done a blower for blah, 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 this. And it's like, ultimately with a blower, you're paying around $10,000. So you get yourself, you know, a Whipple and an install and a tune, and you're looking at about twice the price for about twice the performance. So ultimately it actually does scale kind of linearly, as much as people don't want to believe that, but yeah. Obviously I didn't pay that. I installed it myself with my family, and there's a couple of caveats to installing it yourself as well, because things never go exactly as planned. Even if you're like really good at what you do, there's always some, like you should always set aside a little bit of extra money for the project. Like for example, when we were doing it, the harmonic balancer, the lip of it broke. And because of that, you know, that's an extra $200 there. Things kind of add up like that. So after parts and tuning, I ended up paying about $4,000. And that's including all my little mistakes and, you know, valve lapping compound and having to buy miscellaneous parts, because not everyone has a spring compressor laying around, for example. You have to include those things as well if you plan on doing it yourself. So I think all in all, I spent just shy of $4,000 to do the cam and getting it tuned and stuff. I'm telling you guys what I paid and what you should expect to pay if you go the similar route as I do, because ultimately I can't speak for other situations. Some people opt for different cams, which require different springs, which require different push rods. This is how much it cost me to do my exact setup. Whether or not it's worth to do it, I'll discuss in a future video. This one's mostly just supposed to be like price information, but I will go into more depth in like comparisons and stuff in a future video. With that being said, I hope you guys found this helpful. And thank you guys for watching. Remember to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Click that like button if you made it this far. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.